So, yes, here we are.
Welcome.
We're heading to oh look, another planet with rings.
The next
Close to this
exciting
one.
instalment of... It'll be episode 2, won't it?
Yes, it will. I thought must remember to take that out before I put that up. No,
Don't.
episode 3.
It's perfect.
It's just about right, isn't it? Oh, this
Yeah,
looks like it might be in the sunshine. The last one.
Oh, really? So are we changing course, or... Oh, no, it's on the light side.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Seeing is good. A picture and words.
Yes.
So...
Those pesky asteroids sneaking up on you with no warning whatsoever. Splat,
Let's
splat,
do
splat.
a paddy top and tail on this. What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about... I think it's going to be a good idea if we talk about how the average Joe commander with his reasonably well kitted out ship stands a chance against the new AI and the new NPCs with their super duper weapons.
Alright.
Because I don't have... all my weapons are bulk standard. In fact, this ship is entirely bulk standard, other than a few A-grade models and stuff like that. But you don't require engineers to own, purchase, and operate a ship such as this.
Quite right too. From my perspective, I'm just dropping into my modules panel here, and I can clearly confirm that only my thrusters, beam laser, multi-cannon power distributor, frameshift drive, and power plant have been modified.
All of it then, sir. Oh, I do have a prismatic shield generator though.
Likewise. Are they not becoming readily available?
I don't think so. I think they're a power play perk for one of the power play.
Oh, so this is part of the mayhem thing then?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. I'm about to drop out into the resource extraction site. The thing I wanted to bring up was bookmarks.
Ooh, bookmarks.
And
Bookmarks
we
are
wanted
always
to
good.
talk about the asteroids,
Yes.
the ring
Asteroids.
system, and weapons generally.
Weapons generally, sir.
Oh, the huge weapon fiasco. Oh, yeah. It's good to drop out. It's always good to drop out, because otherwise, you know, you ram the rings, and ring ramming is
There
not
you
for
are, sir.
everyone.
No, it's not.
So-
there are sites on the internet for that kind of thing.
Quite right too. So, okay, we're in... Is this icy again? Are we in an icy one?
We are, but unlike
How's your
the
frame rate?
last, it's 60.
Ah,
60 and stable, sir.
good. So, am
Ooh,
I
I've
getting
been
that
scanned
weird
by
shaking
a-
issue?
There's a clipper behind me scanning me, sir.
There's a clipper behind you. Yes, there is. I've got him in sight. I'm going to deploy weapons just in case.
You know what? I don't like
He's
this
wanted.
guy. Oh, he is.
You up for a fight?
Yep, let's
He's
kick his
dangerous.
butt.
Right, I've only got 2 of my 4 weapons that are modified, so I'm going to bring down the fires of hell upon me right now. Dal, anytime you want to join in, you jump on in here.
Chaff.
He has.
I'm waiting till his chaff stopped. I'm going to plonk myself behind him and... Vigorously
test your weapons upon him.
Yes.
So, I mean, the modified beam laser I've got is only a class 1, so I don't think you can do that much harm anyway.
No.
And my multi-cannons, one of them is modified to emit heat, but I don't think it's having that much of an effect, to be fair.
I've got a huge multi-cannon on here and it's doing okay damage, I've got to say.
When we tested this in the first beta, your huge weapon was tearing through things pretty quick.
It was. I think it was somewhat overpowered. I was slicing through planets and all kinds of stuff.
One thing I've noticed about the modified multi-cannon, at least I think that's what's doing this, is that it does bleed through my weapon cooling system pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, because my usual technique is, once I switch to the multis, is to bump a bit more power into engines and shields to be more maneuverable and stay on these guys so I can hit them from the best angle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm finding that my capacitors are dropping a lot faster with multi-cannons than they used to. His shields are back up.
Wow. Well, let's...
Did that happen all of a sudden, as far as you were concerned, as well?
Kinda did a little bit. Let's
That doesn't
remove
make
those.
sense. Or were we just not paying attention to them rebuilding?
I don't seem to remember seeing them going up.
No. Right. I'm going to go to manual targeting because it's actually kind of fun. Let me know if I'm doing any damage.
I believe so, sir. I believe we're doing alright.
His chaff expired. Yes, it has. Oh, he's down to 14% hull. Right, so in fairness, I'm going to have to commentate slightly on this. You had fairly generic weapons, but you are in a Fer-de-Lance
Yes.
with a huge weapon.
Yes.
Now,
I
huge weapons.
have had compliments about that.
This leads, well, quite right too, sir. This leads quite nicely, I think, into the very strange huge weapons debate that's been going on the forums. Now, you and I have come at this from slightly different perspectives, because I saw a late post on this. Tell you what, you go into it first.
Well,
The understanding that you have.
the understanding. Well, I play the game not half as much as I used to play the game. I just don't have the spare time anymore to do that. But I do like to keep up to date with Oh God, there we go. Sorry, sir. It just would not be the same if we didn't bump into each other all the time. So,
Of course not.
But no, I do like to keep abreast of things. I will peruse the forums every now and again to see what's going on, read Galnet, stuff like that. But I don't remember reading anything along the lines of certain huge weapons would be locked and would have to be earned, for example, by the community at large in order to get and use these weapons. So I just thought, well, once 2.1 drops, we've been promised these new weapons. I saw it in a newsletter. It said, yes, huge weapons will be coming, multi-cannons and pulse lasers and burst lasers and beam lasers, and they showed us clips of them, and they all look fabulous. And I thought, great, huge
that
weapons.
I saw, and that
fabulous.
I pay attention to in newsletters.
Yeah, and I religiously read the newsletters every time. I always read the newsletters, and I thought, well, that looks great, fabulous. But then I read on the forums that apparently certain weapons we won't be getting in 2.1, and there was a community goal. Now, I don't really pay much attention to... Yeah, in a weird system. It's spelled word.
Wired, weird, or word. It's one of them.
And I thought, okay, a community goal, fabulous. I didn't really pay much attention to it because I don't really have the time or the inclination to do much in the way of the community goals lately. Although I do like them, they're a good thing. They kind of bring the community together, excellent, all that good stuff. But I don't remember seeing anything along the lines of yes, this community goal is going to basically dictate which weapons you all unlock for 2.1. And I was like, well, hang on a minute. I thought we were just all getting these weapons. Why are they now locked behind a community goal? I thought...
And there was a loud chorus of people saying exactly the same thing on the forums.
Yes.
However,
I saw that, yeah.
I read some of this as well. And Sandy, I watched the live stream with him and Ed, the Beta 2 live stream. And someone, I forget who it was, but it was one of the more well-known forumites, did ask the question, how are the huge weapons going to become available, or are they not going to be available? And Sandy, from that perspective, seemed quite dismissive, because he said, well, that's the consequences that we were talking about. So those weapons won't be available. However, after quite a kerfuffle and a back and forth, and usual accusations of FDev not communicating, and to be fair, they have got a lot better, but sometimes I think they say some things that are well open to interpretation.
Yeah, the vagueness is just, I mean, wow, that is a huge multi-cannon. Sorry, sir.
Michael Brooks, who's, how would you say it? Conciseness? Not conciseness. When you say everything you need to in 3 words, there's a term for that, and I actually admire that about him, because he does get straight to the point. Why use a paragraph when 3 words will do?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
He popped up on this long debate saying, just to be clear, the community goal results of gating the huge weapons only apply to the wired system, or whatever it is, and they'll be available normally elsewhere. The only thing that is a question is they may not be able to finish the burst laser, the huge burst laser in time.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
And they'll replace that with the huge multi-cannon, but that directly relates to the community goal. And what the
I'm doing a bit of
the
an
explanation
external
Sandy
screening
gave,
here, so do you want to speed up a little bit, bring your ship closer, and continue to enlighten me, sir?
What Sandy was talking about, as well in that live stream, was that they hadn't managed to get word to the community goals writers in time to say that they wouldn't be ready with the burst laser, the huge burst laser. So the community goal talks about the burst laser as a reward, but it's not going to be ready necessarily. So if it's not, they're going to replace it with the multi-cannon. So you can see I've got confused explaining it, but from what Michael Brooks has said, this only affects the system that the community goal was set in, and that's all.
Right.
So
Okay.
huge weapons are going to be available everywhere, but I think, as I understand it, and this is from just the aftermath, the community goal was to work on making these huge weapons available at the weird system.
Right.
And that's it.
So it's not, they're not locking them behind a community goal, it's just the weird system.
Not as I
I'm
understand
chasing an elite Fer de Lance, sir.
Oh, excellent.
Okay,
Oh.
we've wrapped that one up then. Well, that's okay. So
I think
it's
so.
just
And I
that
think
community
people,
goal
if they
then.
watch, should comment and tell us if we're wrong.
Well, we may well be wrong. We have been wrong about a great many things before, sir.
He's scanning me.
Well, I don't like that very much. Just
I don't like it
roll
either.
up and scan my friends.
His scanners have warmed up the interior of my ship slightly, so I would like to open fire on him. And I have. So, okay. This is Ferdy versus Cobra. So, how's this going to go? Well, there was a little bit of ramming.
His shields are almost down. I'm wondering he probably... Wow, that was a good shot.
What did he hit you with?
A plasma accelerator practically flew straight into it.
Has he got a huge weapon? I can't tell.
I believe he has a large plasma accelerator.
One of which just hit me. That's
Damn good shot.
thermal attack. Okay. So he has a modified weapon. It has hit me. My shields have taken quite a pounding. I'm just bumping some stuff into systems here.
Drop him in sync.
My heat level's at 43%, so he didn't sustain fire on me for that long, to be fair. He's holding his own against us, but
He's not doing too bad.
I think we'll win.
Oh, I'm fairly confident of that.
Now, so he's elite, right? Now there are two of us, and we are getting hurt.
My shields are offline, but I'm not that bothered because I've got all kinds of stuff that's going to protect my ship. I've got the mirrored composite stuff, and also I've got hull reinforcement packages.
Now, if you think about this, he's taken both of us quite well. Now,
Yes, sir.
I'd say. So, did he take your shields down?
Yeah, they're gone.
Okay, mine too. He's not doing too badly, to be fair. Now, if this was one-on-one, I think the person attacking this elite Fer de Lance would be in trouble.
Yeah.
As they should be. As they should be, because he's elite.
Excuse me. Yes, I agree.
Now,
Don't these rings look pretty?
we're hardly combat experts.
Well, no, absolutely not.
Hardly.
No.
I hate to speak for both of us, but I think
No.
I'm being fair.
You're absolutely right. Is that a scorch mark down my ship? Perhaps. I believe so.
Before we hammer away,
There's a
actually,
great
into
big laser scorch mark down the side of my ship.
mine too.
That's
Oh,
really
that-
neat. I like that. See, little
More than
attention
one.
to detail.
1, 2,
I think
3, 4.
Yeah, I've got scorch marks all over my ship. Isn't it remarkable that Frontier managed to drop the ball with communication sometimes? I really don't think they do it on purpose. I really don't. I don't think it's a deliberate. You know what? This'll make it. This'll be a giggle on the forums. I really don't think they do that. There's no malice involved, but sometimes they don't communicate as well as they could and miss out little details, and yet they do put fantastic attention to detail in other things like heaving bosoms and laser scorch marks. It's all about the heaving bosoms and laser scorch marks.
And dirt on tyre tracks.
Yes.
And tyres that rotate when you're driving. No, let's skip over that. So, yes.
All right. So, yes. So, okay. Well, that's good then. That the large weapons, the huge weapons, aren't going to be.
I don't think they're gated at all.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad that
they're gated in the weird system.
the wise bearded one came upon and set the record straight there. That's good.
Now, I could speculate as to whether that was a reaction to the reaction of the community, or whether that was the case all along. It took a while for that to come back, but then again, Mr. Brooks is a busy man, I'm sure, so it's taken a while for him to get to the forums and say it. But why couldn't anyone else say it in the first place? I'm not here to sling mud, it's just, it's interesting. It's one of those, like you say, I'm sure they don't do it on purpose, because nobody likes to piss off their customer base.
No, absolutely not. Which is why I really don't think...
And I don't like them being upset. So I'm not going to just say something wrong on purpose. I might just say something off the cuff that they can then interpret incorrectly and then say to me, what the hell? What did you say that for? That's horrible. And I can say, no, wait, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant at all. You took me out of context or whatever. So benefit of the doubt, I think, some people have quite rightly given them the benefit.
I'm always happy to give them the benefit of the doubt. Really, I am. Like I say, I really don't think there was any intent to mislead people. It's just they seem to do it a lot. Yeah. And when you see the live streams and stuff that Ed does, which I think are great, and it's very informative, and it's all it's much better than they used to be. I'm glad that they've got that kind of stuff going on now. But whenever Sandy's on there, or the old wise bearded one, or any of the other developers or FDev staff, they can never really talk about anything. Well, people ask questions like, what about these large multi-cannons? What's going to happen with that? Where are we going to be? Oh yeah, well, can't really talk much about that. It's like, well, okay, well, what can you talk about? I mean, give us something, anything, at least a little tidbit of information.
What I love about Sandy is
the loach.
Well, especially the loach, and you should have seen the Zorse, I think it was. It's a zebra horse. He had one of them on his shoulder today. Today it was Thursday, but every question asked, he's passionate about the game. You can see he loves it, and you can see he really wants new things implemented. He'll be asked a question like, what's going to happen with the bookmarks? And most of the time his answer is, I really want that. I really want that.
Yeah.
And you can see there's a lot of people in that team who we don't even see. And there's a lot of departments, I think, that make decisions on things. And one person can want something.
Ian Sankey, Vulture.
Oh, ready.
But please continue.
A vulture. Yeah, so, as much as one person in the team might really want a feature, that's not going to necessarily mean it's going to happen. We saw with who was the programmer who answered really early on to that complaining thread, which got a little bit, was it? It wasn't Adam Woods.
I haven't seen or heard much from Adam Woods lately. Although
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
I swear that Adam Woods has lended his voice to one of the in-station message people.
Oh, really?
I'm sure of it.
I think what Mike Evans said as a response, I mean, to be honest, who's not going to get their dander up when somebody is quite rude? I mean, yes, you could say he was straight to the point, and he was just speaking his mind, which is fine, everyone's got the right to do that, but, I read it and I balked at it, at that post, and I thought, wow, that's a bit harsh, accusing somebody, saying you call yourself a developer and you make this, it's like, well, okay, it's not difficult to interpret that as an insult.
No, absolutely. No, I remember
somebody
that
said to me, you call yourself an IT consultant? Well, yes, I do. Well, how can you do something like this? Why? Are you an IT consultant? No. Oh, okay. So how do you know?
That's the thing, though. That's exactly the thing, though. I mean, he came on and said, you obviously don't know the first thing about games development, and it doesn't really matter even if you do, and that's what you do as a day job. I may be I'm a web developer. That's what I do. I specialize in WordPress. I write PHP code and CSS, HTML, and I deal with WordPress. But that doesn't make me an expert in other web development areas. I know what I do, and that's what I know about. But it doesn't make me a blanket expert on absolutely all things web development. It just doesn't. So even if you are a games developer, do you know exactly how they've compiled their code for Elite Dangerous? How each bit affects everything else? No, you don't.
How can you?
But the thing with the forums is 9 times out of 10, when somebody says something like that, the immediate response is, well, actually, yes, I am a game designer. Of course you are, sweetheart.
Absolutely.
Of
Are you this
course
game
you
designer?
Are you
You know,
this game designer? Do
To
you
put it into
work
your
for Frontier?
context of a web developer, how many Microsoft websites did you develop?
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you criticize the Microsoft website, there could be all kinds of different stuff going on in the background. I know it's a different context, but how many Elite Dangerouses has this game developer written? Probably none. So how many really successful games has this person written? If they wrote the Mass Effect series, I'd be listening to this person, because that was a fantastic story and an excellent game and a questionable ending for some people. Not for me. I quite enjoyed it. But if that person then said, you know what, guys, your story is a bit lacking, I'd say, tell us everything you know. We will pay you well. In fact, we'll hire you. Write the story for us because you're really good at stories. But, until this person can throw a CV at you and say, I've developed a game just like yours, and it was 10 times more successful, look at these sales figures, it's just at the end of the day, it's like you call yourself a games developer. Well, yes, I do. It's just rudeness. Without wishing to get sidetracked, but which we're going to probably do with alarming regularity. Now,
entirely. I need to go and repair somewhere, I think. I've got a crack.
How badly damaged are you?
I've got bugs and cracks all over my windscreen.
Oh dear.
Let's have a look. Wow, the closest...
Are there any stations here? There are, actually.
Yeah, they're all miles away, though. Well, let's have a look. Harrison Hub. Right, let's go there.
Has it got the facilities we need?
Well, it should have
Outfitting,
repair.
restock, refuel, it doesn't have repair.
Oh, crud.
Abnet
Okay.
Port has repair.
Adnet Port. Where's that? Abnet Port. Course laid in, sir.
I'll fly on your wing. Right, so where we've just been is one of the things we wanted to talk about.
Where we've just been? Oh, asteroid rings. Yeah, I did notice a frame rate drop in that very beautiful ice ring.
The one we were just in?
Yeah, I was. Well, when we first got there, I was at 60, and I was like, yeah, right, 60 frames a second. But then when I get in it, and I dropped down again, and which is weird because that's not happened before. And it's just in ice rings.
I think there's more detail going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of fog in these rings. Yeah, I've got a crack in my windscreen.
There is. I think NVIDIA's. It's like I said the other day when we were on that planet, and I was randomly firing shots just to see. And when there's an awful lot of smoke sprites, I suppose you'd call it. And this is since I had an NVIDIA. I don't even know if it was called an NVIDIA, but I think they made the chipset. It was a Creative Riva TNT and a Riva TNT 2.
Wow.
That was like the really early NVIDIA chipsets. They really suffered when they were rendering lots of semi-opaque smoke sprites. And I noticed the same. You fire at the surface of a planet, loads of smoke sprites will appear, and your frame rate will drop like a stone.
Interesting. I wonder if it's an NVIDIA thing then. Is it NVIDIA or NVIDIA? I don't really know how to pronounce it.
I believe it's NVIDIA because when it says, the way it's meant to be played thing comes up. Because she says NVIDIA. So it's NVIDIA. But I like NVIDIA because it sounds funnier.
Sounds like, NVIDIA. NVIDIA it is.
For the sake of balance, because we're not an advertising company, other video card manufacturers are available.
Indeed they are.
I did have it wasn't an ATI. What was it? Really early, super early. It was the 3DFX Voodoo. I had a Voodoo 2. And now that was one of the ones that used to click when it switched across from 2D mode, and it was a 3D only card. So you had to have your standard 2D card, and you would then plug in the Voodoo or Voodoo 2 card separately, and I believe you had to run a ribbon cable from it or something like that, and you'd hear it click when a 3D game started, a 3DFX or a OpenGL game. That never suffered from the same issue, from what I remember.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Voodoo would probably run Elite Dangerous though.
Not really. I was very impressed when my Quake 2 frame rate went from 30 to 50 with my Voodoo 1 upgrading to a Voodoo 2.
Wow, that's just... Well, the NPC's still having a bit of an issue in Super Cruise, wobbling about a bit.
Yeah. By the way, if people can hear my squeaking chair, I apologise. I'm hoping the mic isn't picking it up.
I've not noticed, I'll be honest, sir. Squeaking chair. No.
It must have happened in the previous recording, and I didn't hear it then when I listened back.
Fabulous and groovy, sir. Okay, well, that's video's probably going to be going on for about half an hour, so we shall bid the audience adieu, and we'll catch them in the next episode of Dal Mal as we discuss stuff and things in the Elite Dangerous universe.
And maybe even other things.
Other things. It's been unreally real.
And guys, if you're following us, we're really, really early. This is like early days for us at the moment, so we're getting used to all this talking stuff. So bear with us if we make mistakes.
Yes. Which we will, but hopefully they'll be humorous.
Indeed. Out for now.
Out for now. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.